Hello, welcome. Calling this election horseplay of Sun Goddess and Truth Exposed. Welcome to Intuitive Insights at Play. I get metaphors and I interpret the metaphors. And the first question I asked was, will KH be president in 2025? First, I saw a small boat at a dock, and a woman I would describe her dress as a sun goddess is taking someone's hand and stepping out of the boat and onto the dock. And to me, the sun goddess imagery with rays coming out of her head indicates divine feminine power and spiritual authority. Then I see a necklace on her that has big round crystals, maybe 2 inches. They're huge. I mean, really big crystals, but they get smaller as they go up toward her neck, which I would interpret as a structured power. And the crystals getting smaller towards the neck suggest a refinement of energy. And then I saw a crystal triangle near her throat symbolizing, I think, clear communication and truth-speaking power. Then I saw a fish that was human-made, was handmade. It was made of several parts attached to each other, so the fish could ripple and move. So being able to flow through artificial or human-created systems with agility. Then I saw a waterfall, and I was shown the part of the waterfall right at the moment where it goes into the water. And then I was shown the top of the waterfall. I think being shown both the top and the bottom of the waterfall implies the complete picture of a transformative process from beginning to end, or from the end back to the beginning, right? If you get my drift. Let's rewind this a little bit and then go through the process. I see 3 polar bears drinking water. I saw their paws and then a woman's arm petting them. The 3 polar bears drinking water shows strength, I think survival, with the petting gesture, a connection with powerful natural forces, so working together with Mother Nature. Then I saw a woman holding a man. I think she's a nurse and he's a patient in a hospital bed, and he looks very thin, very sick. His eyes are closed, and now she's standing by his side. And she might be a hospice nurse, suggesting a transformation or transition phase, possibly representing the end of an old cycle. Overall, these images appear to be showing a powerful transition period with strong feminine goddess energy leading the way. The progression from symbols of power, goddess crystals, to transformation, the waterfall, to care, the nursing scene, suggests spiritual authority ending with a profound change. Next, I asked, will there be disruptions to our daily lives when the truth comes out about the election? I saw a person's face with a mask on, and the mask came off and it was a raccoon, which implies hidden truths being exposed. Raccoons are known for being clever and adaptable. Showing deceptive elements being revealed. Then I saw a cartoon character with its mouth so wide open, it was almost as big as half their face, and there was a lot of energy coming out of that open mouth. And to me, this means surprising revelations in what a lot of people are going to see as dramatic. Then I saw a parrot, and there was kind of like mud dripping out of the parrot's mouth, like when it opened its mouth and tried to speak, mud dripped out. And I think of parroting, parroting the so-called news and parroting and spreading the talking points of the day. They'll try, but it won't work anymore. I briefly saw a space capsule landing in the ocean, and I think of a major revelation or truth splashing down into public consciousness. The ocean often represents collective consciousness. Then I saw a horse. It's whinnying, braying like a donkey, really reaching out and expressing. It's making a sound. I can't hear it, but I can see it's making a very demanding noise. And then it's grinning. And if you've never seen a horse grin before, it's very funny to see. The horse making a really strong vocal expression and then grinning probably means a powerful truth will come out, leading to vindication. Since horses don't usually grin, this funny image suggests something really unusual is going to happen. And of course, that's the hope. The overall images suggest a period of revelations with hidden truths being exposed. So the disruption, as far as I can tell, will disrupt the brainwashing and the parroting of the lies. I mean, how great is that? Most of my life, I've studied propaganda and how to stop it. So it makes sense that my images would focus on that area. The parroting, the lying, the propaganda. My work with my clients focuses on how to unbrainwash ourselves from old habits and patterns. So next I asked, based on a question I received, will we lose communication when the truth comes out? I saw a flower opening, which represents unfolding awareness or truth blossoming. I saw a person and I was mostly drawn to their nose. It's like I was sitting down and they're slightly above me, but still really focusing in on the nose. And that focus suggests intuition and the ability to smell out the truth. The perspective of looking up at them means receiving guidance from those that have a nose for the truth. I saw written words, but I couldn't make out what it said, suggesting that while some information remains unclear now, it will eventually become more apparent. Then I saw a canyon with a dam in the canyon, and water was pouring over the top of the dam. The canyon represents a deep divide, while the dam with the water pouring over suggests contained information being released in a controlled way, but the water flowing over the top represents information or truth that can no longer be contained. And then, this is kind of strange, I saw an awning in the middle of the dam, and water was pouring over it, but underneath the awning was a doorway, and the awning was keeping the doorway from getting wet like an umbrella. And so here's a protective passage or ways to navigate through the flow of information. The doorway represents access points or gateways of communication. Look to where you feel protected from the flood of information and know that there's a way through. Then I saw a city street and I was moving along a street and one building with an awning, here's the awning again, over a door like at the dam. Then it became like a palapa instead of an awning made of more natural materials. I was no longer in the city. I was in a natural setting with a palapa, and it's open on all the sides. I mean, there's posts and beams holding up the roof, but it's a place you might hang out or gather instead of a place you'd live. And then I was inside the palapa, and I was looking up inside, and I mean, the skill that would go into making the ceiling and the roof and the poles and the ties, it was just extraordinary. And the poles holding up the roof, are very sturdy looking. Going from a city to an open-air gathering place, moving from conventional communication channels to more natural community-based ways of connecting, I think a lot of us are looking for that and doing that already. A lot of people have turned off the news and are looking for these sources that feel like community that we can trust. Also, the impressive craftsmanship of the shelter suggests that alternative communication networks will be well constructed and reliable. The large supporting poles indicate strong foundational support for those smaller communities. And I just had the thought that if water came in, if there was a flood or a storm, that the building would survive that. Overall, there may be changes in how we communicate. The images suggest to me that alternative wall-structured channels for connection are available, particularly in community-type gathering places. Thanks for listening, and like I like to say lately, when we hope, we prevail.